What a ride! Charles Leclerc just pulled off the most shocking pole position of the year, snatching it right from under McLaren's noses. After 3 practice sessions of pure McLaren domination, with Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri trading fastest times like they owned the Hungaroring, everyone thought we'd see another papaya front row local, but Ferrari's man in red had other plans, and what a story this qualifying session turned out to be. Let me take you through exactly how this unbelievable qualifying unfolded, driver by driver, from P20 all the way to that stunning pole position, because what happened today in Budapest shows why Formula 1 never stops surprising us. The session kicked off with track temperatures hitting a scorching 52 degrees Celsius, but those clouds we saw gathering during practice, they started making their presence felt. As temperatures began dropping, everything we thought we knew about the pecking order was about to change. In P20 was Alex Albon and P19 was Nico Hülkenberg. Starting from the bottom, Alex Albon in the Williams was the first casualty, struggling with the balance issues that have plagued the team all weekend. His teammate Carlos Sainz managed to get to Q2. Nico Hülkenberg in the Sauber found himself in familiar territory at the back of the grid after showing promise in earlier sessions. The C45 just couldn't deliver when the pressure was on. In P18 was Esteban Ocon and P17 was Pierre Gasly. Esteban Ocon had a frustrating session in the Haas, complaining about traffic and unable to extract performance the VF25 had shown during practice runs. Pierre Gasly couldn't get his Alpine working in these cooler conditions, ending up in P17 and adding to Alpine's weekend struggles. P16 was Yuki Tsunoda and P15 was Kimi Antonelli. Biggest shock of Q1, Yuki Tsunoda in the Red Bull. The Japanese driver, who's been having problems with Red Bull car, complaining there is no grip all season, got caught out by late improvement from Liam Lawson in the Racing Bulls. Tsunoda's elimination was the highest profile casualty of the session, and it set the tone for Red Bull struggles throughout qualifying. His lap time wasn't nearly enough, and you could feel the disappointment in the Red Bull garage. Kimi Antonelli had a tough session in Mercedes, complaining about rear grip and unable to match his teammate George Russell's pace. The young Italian will be disappointed after showing promise in practice. His lap time was deleted, so he dropped to P15. P14 was Franco Colapinto and P13 was Carlos Sainz. Franco Colapinto couldn't find the extra pace needed in the Alpine, continuing the team's difficult weekend in Budapest, but outqualified his teammate Pierre Gasly. Carlos Sainz in the Williams was eliminated, showing just how much the team is struggling with their package in slow speed circuits. P12 was Lewis Hamilton and P11 was Oliver Behrman. The story of Q2 was Lewis Hamilton. For the second consecutive race, the 7-time world champion was eliminated in Q2. After his radio message played on the broadcast, you could hear the frustration in his voice. Hamilton's elimination means that he starts from P12, and for a driver with 8 wins at this circuit, this has to hurt. His lap time was just 15 thousandths away from Gabriel Bortoleto in P10, so close, yet so far. Oli Behrman did his best in the Haas but couldn't extract enough from the car to make Q3, though he shone flashes of speed through the weekend. Going into Q3, everyone expected McLaren show. Piastri and Norris had been trading fastest times all weekend, and Ferrari looked like they'd be fighting for best of the rest at P3. Fifth row of the grid belongs to Racing Bulls. P10 was Isaac Hadjar and P9 was Liam Lawson. Isaac Hadjar was just happy to make Q3 in his Racing Bulls, though he knew points would be tough from here. Liam Lawson had a solid session but couldn't find the extra pace to challenge higher up the order. In P8 was Max Verstappen and P7 was Gabriel Bortoleto. Max Verstappen in P8 was the story of Red Bull struggles. The 4-time world champion has been complaining about balance all weekend, saying the car feels like he's driving on ice and that when they try to fix the rear, it goes into understeer. P8 for Verstappen shows just how far Red Bull have fallen behind. Gabriel Bortoleto in P7 had an excellent session for Sauber, showing the progress the team has made recently. The Brazilian rookie continues to impress. Third row of the grid belongs to Aston Martin. In P6 was Lance Stroll and P5 was Fernando Alonso. Lance Stroll secured P6 for Aston Martin, backing up their improved pace this weekend. The team has been working hard to find performance, and this result shows they're moving in the right direction. Fernando Alonso in P5 overcame his back injury issues that forced him to miss FP1. The two-time world champion showed his class when it mattered, putting his Aston Martin into top 5 and proving he still got it at 43 years old. P4 was George Russell and P3 was Lando Norris. George Russell delivered a strong P4 for Mercedes, keeping his hopes alive for podium finish on Sunday. Russell has been the more consistent Mercedes driver this season, and this result backs that up. Lando Norris sitting P2 in the championship looked set to start from the front row, which would be perfect for his title hopes, but on the final runs McLarens couldn't improve. P2 was Oscar Piastri and pole position belongs to Charles Leclerc. Piastri was sitting pretty comfortable with provisional pole when he set his first flying lap in Q3. The championship leader looked comfortable and McLaren seemed to have everything under control. His time looked strong and most people thought that would be enough for pole. Leclerc had been quietly working away in that Ferrari, and as the track temperatures continued to drop, something magical happened. The SF25 came into its sweet spot and Leclerc found something extra that nobody else could match. His pole lap was absolutely sublime. Purple in sector 1, purple in sector 2, and when that final sector time came through, the timing screens lit up with P1. Leclerc had done it. His first pole position of 25, his first pole position at Hungarian Grand Prix, and it came out of absolutely nowhere. What makes this pole even more special is the context. This was Leclerc's 27th career pole position, ending a drought of 20 Grand Prix without pole and 315 days since his last one in Baku 24. For a driver of his caliber, the drought felt eternal. The temperature drop played perfectly into Ferrari's hands, while McLaren struggled to keep their car in the operating window as conditions changed. Leclerc and Ferrari adapted brilliantly. It shows the importance of understanding your car across different conditions. For McLaren, this has to sting. They dominated every single practice session, looked unbeatable all weekend, and then when it mattered the most, Ferrari found something extra. Piastri and Norris will be disappointed, but they're starting second and third, so all isn't lost. For Red Bull, this weekend has been disaster. Verstappen in P8, Tsunoda eliminated in Q1. It shows just how far they've fallen behind McLaren and now even Ferrari in certain conditions. Sunday's race will be fascinating. The Hungaroring is notoriously difficult for overtaking, which means this qualifying result could be crucial for the final outcome. Can Leclerc convert this surprise pole into his first win of the season? Will McLaren's race pace advantage help them fight back? And can Hamilton charge through the field from P12? One thing's for sure, Formula 1 just reminded us why we can never take anything for granted. Leclerc's pole position today proves that in this sport anything can happen when the lights go out for qualifying. Don't miss tomorrow's race to see if Leclerc can complete this fairy tale story. Thank you for watching, please comment, like and subscribe.